By the way, I just want to say something. Shower scam. I love your content so much, and you'll always be my favorite YouTuber. Keep up the amazing work.
I'd rather be scratching my ass. You know, it's boring. So
we kind of drew the line and said that's going to be it. Now, what's funny about all this is, last night, someone actually sent me a very lengthy
message.
Today we're going to talk about how to write a self-love letter. I have written 50,000 words of love letters to myself.
And I'm not going to read the whole thing. I'm going to try to, like, summarize it. Basically, what this person said, they sent me a big email.
And in summary,
boy, the next word that comes out of your mouth better be some brilliant fucking Mark Twain shit, because it's definitely getting chiseled on your tombstone.
Here's what they said. They said,
you know, you said something the other day that resonated with me, and I'd like to emphasize this. They said, you mentioned on some of your streams,
recently in particular.
Hold it, what the hell is that shit?
When you do your podcast and you're just hanging out with your audience, that people tend to come by and engage and contribute. And sometimes you'll boot the game up after, and you say, man, the rest of the stream is dead. Like, people disengage, people don't support. This is, well, maybe that's a sign. Maybe this is a sign that times are changing.
Now, the number one sign that you are being pushed out of your job when you are not given any raises or any promotions.
That the days of being a full-time gamer and sitting around playing games all day
are in the past.
That people just don't care as much about that anymore. You know, there was a time when it didn't matter what game I played, people would come by and engage in support and love it.
And now I think those days are past.
E-begging ain't easy, people. You won't see any e-begging on this fucking channel, that's for goddamn sure. Metal Moron was bragging about how he made $250 in one fucking Google Hangout or some shit like that a month or two ago.
That people would much rather have a social experience with me. Just basically play any old game just to say there's a game on the screen.
You know what I'm saying?
Do you understand the words that are coming out from my mouth?
Don't nobody understand the words that are coming out of your mouth, man.
So I guess the question is,
well, a lot of people ask me, where's the gold out? Where should I dig?
Right?
Is that the case? I'm 41 years old. I'm going to be 42 in less than 2 months. You know, am I now reaching the time of my life
where I'm older,
and the people who are coming by to my streams every day are coming by more to hang out with me
than watch me play a game?
Is that really the case? Maybe it is. Maybe that actually is what's going on now. And this is something that I've been saying for years was going to happen. I told you guys, listen.
As I get older,
how old do you think you are?
79.
Higher.
89.
Higher.
89. Higher than that?
Yeah.
90.
Higher.
7.
Higher.
8.
That's it. 98.
Your ass. I am not 98 years old. Holy fuck.
I know I'm not going to be able to play video games as much as I do now. I know I'm not going to be able to play at a high of a level. I can tell you right now, as I'm doing this with my hands, and I just do this little stretch exercise.
All of the muscles in my right hand are incredibly tense right here, all in the joints, and have pain.
Man, I smell something, man. You smell something?
I definitely smell something in my hair.
I smell pussy. Yo, he's a pussy, man. Thick as ass.
It's carpal tunnel. And it's because I've been playing video games full time for 15 years. And I'm doing this right now. I've got tons of pain shooting through my pinky right now, right here, as the muscle extends, just doing this exercise.
Because
the human body is not meant to sit around playing video games all day.
You know what I mean? As I get older,
these things are going to happen.
And
I know I'm not going to be able to keep doing these full time like I've been doing for how long now?
Maybe you could stop being such a little bitch.
And so I've been telling you guys that
this is why over the last several years,
I've been trying to more diversify my content. At one point, it was literally, I sit here all day playing video games, and that's the footage I put out. And then after a while, I was like, you know, I don't want to just play video games. Let's do some vlogging. Let's do some this. Let's do some that.
There's some people who make YouTube videos as a way to express themselves, to just make a piece of art. There are other people who make YouTube videos to pass on their knowledge about things, or just to entertain you. And then there are people who make YouTube videos just for a quick buck.
And that's how the whole idea of a morning podcast
came about.
Let's diversify and do something different. Let's just hang out. Let's have conversation. Let's talk about news. Let's talk about current events. Let's talk about upcoming games. Let's talk about whatever you guys have on your mind. Let's do this every day.
Correct? And I'm
happy to do that. I like doing that a ton.
You know, if you're a lazy, degenerate, deadbeat motherfucker, and you've wasted your whole life being a worthless fucking slob, waiting for a fucking handout, waiting for somebody else to give you a free fucking ride.
And a lot of you have come out and said, yeah, I literally only tune into your podcast these days. Unless there's a big game that I'm really interested in, I'm way more interested in you and your opinions and your discussion with us than I am about you just messing around with any old game, especially when it's games that I'm not too interested in. Yeah, and that's the difference. Back in the day, I was a big YouTuber, and anyone would always wanted to tune in no matter what I was playing. It was like an event to see Darkside Phil play a game. Today, it's not anymore. I'm a small-time guy.
You better believe things would have been different. I'd have gone pro. In a heartbeat. I'd be making millions of dollars and living in a big old mansion somewhere. You know, soaking it up in a hot tub with my soulmate.
Hour 1, we do the podcast. Hour 2, it's politics hour. Hour 3, it's current events hour. Hour 4, it's drama and gossip hour. Hour 5, no, we're not doing that. Okay?
But the point I'm making is that as I get older...
Wait a second. I recognize that voice. You're not really an old man!
That's probably the direction we're going. You understand? I know this is gonna be, it's gonna be a slow transition, but I feel like I've got to prepare everyone for that transition. For those out there who've only known Darkside Phil as an online YouTube gamer for the last 15 years, you have to understand that we're definitely moving in this other direction now.
Okay.
Hey, stop being so fucking lazy.
And when
I find myself being faced with challenges and changes.
You know, right now, no exaggeration, this month,
I'm down over $1,000 of revenue, and I haven't made any of it back. I was hoping maybe some people who had memberships and got a free one from this stupid membership exploit that these trolls are using would have said,
alright, well...
I normally would buy a membership for Phil from his channel to support him. And I got a free one, so I'm gonna, do a super chat instead. Or I'll tip instead.
That hasn't happened, okay? It hasn't.
And so because of that, I'm out of tons of revenue.
And that's not my fault, and that's not your fault.
That's YouTube's system being abused and YouTube being slow as shit to doing anything about it, as they always have been, okay? And then I boot up a game. Oh, let's play a game today. And the whole stream's dead. No one's paying attention, no one's talking, no support's coming in. This is a business I'm operating, okay? This is my livelihood. And as much as
people who live in a fantasy world would like to say, oh, and Phil shouldn't eBay and Phil shouldn't bring any of this stuff up, that's because they live in a fucking fantasy world.
They don't live in reality like us. They live in a place of rainbows, unicorns, sprinkles, pots of gold, dancing leprechauns, and shit that doesn't fucking exist.
Alright? In reality, I have to make a living doing this. Okay?
And I'm not asking for any more than what you guys have always done for me.
He's nothing but a greedy little pig.
Carl told you not to be greedy, but you didn't listen. You're nothing but a greedy little pig.
I'm saying that now I'm at a significant loss, alright?
And I'm faced with reality that it looks like more people are tuning in and enjoying the content I do when I'm just talking with you than when I'm playing games.
Not in all cases. If you're playing a high priority game,
Or a game that's more challenging, you know what I mean? There are games that absolutely, the more hype behind them, people like that. But I feel like there's certain hype games that people will always come out and support, and then there's other games that are kind of like the games in between, and people are like, eh, and some people will show up and some people won't.
right?
Give me money. Just give me money.
So
I basically have to figure something out here. Like, what's the balance? What does this data tell me? Because again, this is my business. I have to analyze this data in a very smart manner and professional manner.
I am too smart. I am too smart. S-M-R-T. I mean S-M-A-R-T.